Guess what, people? Ta-da. 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 Hard work and money gets you a lot of things. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Week 5 of the 2018 NFL Predictions. I'm your host, Cody P. from the Blind Canadian Cat YouTube channel. I would say this is a group, but nope, this is just me. Just me and my cheap apartment and my low quality items and weapons I use. The lighting, it's just a light bulb. That's all that is about me. So, go poor people. Again, since I don't remember it, but I have the lovely power of editing, here's how I did last week. And actually, I honestly don't remember off the top of my head, nor do I want to check it. So I'm just gonna go, alright, let's do better this week. I'm assuming I did average or below average, because that's been my trend lately. And if I haven't, then we can still do better. Let's shoot for an undefeated week. I want perfect, what is it, 15 games this week? 15-0-0. That's my goal this week. And we're going to do that. Ready? Let's get into the game, shall we? The first game that I wanted to get into features one of the games that I highlighted coming into the season already, where we get to debate once and for all who is the best receiver in the NFL. And that is when the Atlanta Falcons travel to Pittsburgh, where according to my lovely app, which is based on this one specifically is based on Bridgewater's Finest Pick'em Leagues, where you get to also use your point system to say how confident you are in your prediction of your team beating the other team. Shout out to Bridgewater's Finest. Go subscribe. His videos are a lot longer, but they're a lot more in depth than mine. So, there you go. That's my shout out of the day. But currently on here, Pittsburgh is favored by 3 points. Now, whether or not that is true by the time I actually edit this, again, we've been through this. We know how this goes. So, once again, we come into two teams who have started out the year with prolific offenses, one of the greatest. Although Pittsburgh has some questions now that Le'Veon Bell has been gone for the beginning of the season, but he's expected to come back somewhere around probably the next Browns game. That's what we're expecting him, but who knows? NFL players can be tricky these days. So, we got a 3-point favorite game, two high-powered offenses. This game is really tricky because both teams have very suspect defenses, as seen by Atlanta's 1-3 record. Their previous two losses coming from shootouts, in which they both failed to convert the final touchdown or the final play in the last seconds, losing to the Saints in overtime in Week 3, and then failing to stop the Bengals at the last second in this last week. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, they are all over the place. They have no idea what they're doing. Coming in with one win, and that only win being against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where Ryan Fitzpatrick had a Ryan Fitzpatrick-esque game. And since then, they've had two losses, one of which came to the Kansas City Chiefs, and the other coming to the Baltimore Ravens just last Sunday night. Yes! And they, of course, had that tie against Cleveland. So now we got two teams who are desperate for wins to keep up. Both are currently last or tied for last in their respective division. Both expected to be playoffs, and a lot of people are expecting them to be Super Bowl bound, except Atlanta, because the Super Bowl is in Atlanta this year, so you're not going. Sorry, Box, Chris, whatever we're calling you these days. So, yes, this game's a real pick'em, and it's hard to say. So, I'm just going to say it's a toss-up. Honestly, either team could win. Again, it all depends on the last-second ball shootout. And at the end of the day, I think, Atlanta have had enough to failing shootout to shootout. So, I think Atlanta finally gets one here. And it's obvious that Pittsburgh is still missing their running back. Yes, they lost to Cincinnati, but Cincinnati is a more well-rounded team right now than Pittsburgh. And Atlanta, I feel like they're due. And if they're not, then that's going to really suck, because both New Orleans and Carolina are looking really good this year. More or less. So Atlanta's going to need this one, and I think they're more hungry. And I think in a tougher NFC than the AFC, I think Atlanta slips away with this one. And you get the +3 anyway. So take the Atlanta Falcons +3. Now the second game we're going to look at is probably the highlighted game of this week, coming into this week based on the previous weeks, when the Jacksonville Jaguars hand to Kansas City, whereas the Chiefs are favored by 3. Now this one is the unmovable force meets the unstoppable object, or yada yada yada, something along that metaphor. With the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 4-0, have beaten all their teams by a large margin, except last week where Patrick Mahomes had to have a fourth quarter come-behind victory in the Mile High City against the Denver Broncos. Edit that out. Now, it's shown us now that Patrick Mahomes is more durable and willing to work better under pressure. Because if you watch that game, he struggled a lot. Like, he had passes that he made some passes, he made some plays, but he was not that Patrick Mahomes that was just dropping dimes left and right like he was in the first 3 weeks of the season. It was a struggle. And Denver's no joke. I mean, their offense is questionable. And again, they were one play away from potentially losing that game. So Denver is still a borderline questionable team. We don't know how they're going to do. We don't know what they'll be like. It's borderline that they can be in the playoffs, considering how weak, again, the AFC is. And I highly suspect that no other team outside of the Patriots will make it out of the AFC East. And the AFC North is questionable. AFC South, maybe. Who knows? But I feel like Denver is a questionable team. But that's besides the point. We're talking about KC. I do that a lot in these videos, I'm realizing. I get off topic. But KC gets to welcome Jacksonville, an actual defense. Now, Blake Bortles, he is still a question mark. We want to believe he's good. In these last couple of weeks, he has proven to be good. But we're still questioning him based on his past, based on his history, based on his resume. But now they're going into KC, and KC has still acknowledged that they have a crappy defense. Well, I guess they haven't really acknowledged it. We've acknowledged it. But they've been able to hold down, and against Case Keenum, they were able to hold down on those final couple of drives to let KC complete the comeback and win. What was it, a 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter? Something like that. Patrick Mahomes standing sturdy. KC always does its hot starts. And I think at the end of the day, this is probably going to be another. This could potentially be a shootout. This could potentially be a slugfest. I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to one or two teams making a big play. And if I had to put my money on it right now, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. So this -3 spread, give or take, it's essentially saying that on a neutral field, this would be even Stevens. But I think KC will do just enough that a -3 spread is fair enough to take. If this were like a -5, then I'd say probably go for the plus. But since it's a -3, I think you can get away with it. So, we're going to take the Kansas City Chiefs -3 in this game. And then the third and final game we're going to look at has the grand old game of the NFC Championship rematch, when the Minnesota Vikings head to Philadelphia, where the Eagles are currently 3-point favorites. Eagles are one of those teams that kind of, it's a love-hate relationship. Especially since they are now the reason I have been kicked out of the Survival Bowl, because I took them to beat Tennessee. And it makes me mixed emotion, because I want to root for Tennessee, because, of course, Mariota is an Oregon player, so I have a personal connection with all my fellow Oregon players. One of the reasons why I also like the Rams a lot, now that they got Brandon Cooks and Johnny Hekker, and I guess you can say Sean Mannion, but no one really cares, he's a backup. Anywho, sorry, Chad. He's one of my managers, so. I think it was Johnny Hekker, he said that he actually had wings with many moons ago, but do I believe him? I don't know, to be honest. But besides the point, again, Eagles, not Rams, nor Titans. But I haven't seen the game highlights yet from the Eagles-Titans game, but I believe what I've been told is that Tennessee went for a gutsy fourth down call and converted, and then ended up winning on the overtime touchdown. But a lot of people also saying that Philadelphia's defense pretty much lost them that game. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Everyone has early season woes, especially if you're a team coming off a Super Bowl victory. you're gonna have early season woes. I mean, outside of the Patriots, you're gonna have ups and downs and left and rights. Look at Carolina and Atlanta. Yeah, they weren't that bad, but you still lost to Philadelphia and a backup QB. So, with that, and Minnesota, who has been extremely disappointing this year, but for their defense more than their offense. Kirk Cousins, I mean, he puts up stats, and he had a good game last Thursday, but in the end, it was the defense that let him down, letting the high-powered Rams offense drop a nice 38 points on them. And in a game where essentially there was no turnovers, except that fumble at the end of the game, it all came down to whose defense would make a play. And the Rams had an injured defense, yet at the end of the day, they were the ones who made the play. Minnesota couldn't do anything to stop them, although it was nice for me in the stats league to have both Cooper Kupp and Adam Thielen. Just to get away with it. But at the end of the day, I think Philadelphia bounces back. This game is in Lincoln Financial Field, and I think for a lot of the Vikings individuals, there's going to be some nostalgia about that game. And now, again, with the defense that we don't know whether or not they're good, Carson Wentz will now be in his third game coming back from injury. So any doubts about him should be erased by now, or if not, close enough to. So I do highly believe that this is a game that Minnesota, I think this one might slip from them again, and I think it's psychological more than anything. Like I'm gonna predict this is one of those games where Minnesota's defense should intercept the ball, but they drop it. Kind of like a lot of teams lately have been dropping passes, dropping INTs that should have won the games. All like Week 1 with the Bears dropping a pass from Aaron Rodgers, and the Chiefs last night, even though they did win in the end, there was an easy interception that a dude dropped. Fuller, I think it was. Kyle Kendall, I can't remember which one. But anyway, the point is, I think we're going to have one of those passes, and I think Philadelphia will remind the Vikings that, nice try. You're irrelevant, and Kirk Cousins is not your answer. We swept him last year. So, and give or take, I think 3 points is enough you can get away with. So, that, for your third game, take the Philadelphia Eagles, -3 over the Minnesota Vikings. And we're doing this quick, we're going fast, in a hurry. Right here, we're going to have a little slide-up thing. This thing actually might be done early. Now, I'm going to edit this immediately right after you get back, since now you know I have internet, so I'm going to just immediately edit this. Right now, it is luckily 12:41 a.m., so that would technically make this a Thursday morning. So, with that going up, we can break down some of the games right now. You almost want to take the Colts +10 because you don't know about the Patriots. But considering what they did to Miami, I feel like you can get away with it. Indianapolis is relevant. I was initially going to entitle this video based off that game because of the Josh McDaniels thing. But then I realized who cares about the Colts. Some games I'll title based because, you know, like you only play them every once in 4 years. So it's like, it's a rarity occurring. Or for like last week, a Baker's dozen. Baker Mayfield was starting, and when were we going to talk about the Browns ever? So that's why I do that. You don't see these spots, but actually I don't know what this title is this video right now, so I put it up to a poll in the procs, which, by the way, I haven't even talked about. I keep forgetting to in all of my videos. I have a link down in the description below where you can join us on the Facebook prog page. There are about 400 of us in the page, but only 20 of us talk actively. Join us. We need more people. We would love to hear your opinions about football. Because apparently I suck at my job and been not doing good with my picks. So I want to hear your picks. Tell me why I'm wrong with the things I say and the way I do. Tell me why I should believe you. Or just talk about anything in general. We need people to talk to. I get lonely sometimes. And my hair is still doing weird things. But yeah, back to this point. I'll just highlight a quick game that are a couple important. Chargers Raiders. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 1 point game, but I'm going to be an idiot again and take that -5. Because Oakland, I would say sucks, but they did win against the Browns. Although, if you really want to get into it, a little controversial ref calling. But that's every game in the NFL. There's only going to be one call that the refs screw up one way or another. So it's a give or take. Niners Cardinals, I feel like you're screwed either way. So if you guys are also in this Bridgewater's finest group, just put a 1 point confident on them, because you're screwed either way. Both these teams, God knows what. And there's that. And then the Saints-Redskins game, I'm trying to convince Nathan, my fellow Saints fan friend, to come join me for this lovely Monday night so we can watch Drew Brees break the record. But he is stubborn, so I guess we shall see. But yeah, take the -7. Some people are saying the Redskins are better, and the Redskins, I would say, are better off with Alex Smith than they are Kirk Cousins, solely based on Alex Smith is more conservative and a little safer. It's not going to throw away the game for you, as long as you play a good enough game. But at the end of the day, I like the Saints more, and I don't view the Redskins any much better than the Giants. So, and if the Saints can do that, then they'll be fine. And Adrian Peterson is not going to keep producing like this every week, guys. Yes, he got the week to rest to buy, and now he gets the extra day because of the Monday Nighter. But no. I'm just going to say that right now. No. And if Adrian Peterson does have a 100-yard game and 2 touchdowns, feel free to yell at me at Twitter and or Instagram. Links also in the description below. And with that, call that a swipe. Call that whatever. And fantasy, again, I went victorious in both my matchups. I don't even remember who I played. But I'll say this about actually in the League of Assholes League, I beat Teddy solely by like 2 points. And I had a lot of Ravens and Steelers in that game. I'm trying to remember. Alex Collins, James Conner, Antonio Brown, John Brown. I ended up starting John Brown over Calvin Ridley. Chris Boswell, Steelers kicker, and the Ravens defense. And they all did enough for me, plus with the help of Patrick Mahomes on Monday night, to beat Ted Ward by like 2 points. And I'm pretty sure I did get that win because Patrick Mahomes had that rushing touchdown over a passing one. So, just by the skin of my teeth, I got that win. And now this week, I can just pull it up right here. I know I'm playing Keith in the League of Assholes League, who's been up and down, but he's got a good team. In this one, and in the Stat League, I am playing Drew, where I'm currently projected to win by a score of 125 to 103. But which is okay, because I get Cam Newton back for my QB. So, go me. And with that, that's all I got. And I've already made this thing way too long. I need to stop. I need to admit to myself that these videos are going to be more than 10 minutes long. I have the intention to not make them that long, but it's... You talk too much, then you go off topic, then you talk about all these games. And honestly, I should do a podcast. I really should. Because I would love to go into depth with these games. And I would love to have someone to talk to. Because, like a problem that's been on this channel many times before, I have no one to talk to. This is just me. I mean, I could talk to Darth Vader, but he doesn't know much about football. And his buttons are also broken, so that means I can't really get a response from him either. So, that's just that. I don't even know what you got wrapped around you. You got all these necklaces and stuff. Anywho, yes, subscribe if you haven't already. You can see videos of this. And when I'm not extremely busy with this, work, or being lazy and watching football games, I actually do have intentions to release video games, and or randomosities, and or anything with fellow friends around the world. I have internet back again, so I could do some more gaming videos online, get Nathias, Christy, Donnie, Travie Boy, whoever is available. Or I can yell at the Burrow and we'll figure something out. Make sure you join the Progs Facebook page, link in the description below as well. Talk football with us, or tell us your life story. I'm okay with either or. I don't know how they are, but I would be enlightened to hear your life story. From us at the TBCC Productions, we say meow, we roll intros, and Darth Vader's here. And with that, I say a good meow to you,